Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I can't tell you what a pleasure it gives me. Good morning up there. I'm sorry I missed you. What a pleasure it gives me to be here today on this occasion to welcome you here and for Porter's 10th anniversary celebration, a remarkable event. Before I go forward, I'd like to recognize in the audience Deputy Mayor Denzelman Wong, who I'll be introducing shortly, the Honourable Lisa Raitt, former Transport Minister, who I saw somewhere. There she is. Welcome. And of course, our former Chair, Mark McQueen, wherever he may be. Delighted to have him here today. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jeffrey Wilson. I'm the President and CEO of Ports Toronto, the owner and operator of Billy Bishop Airport. This airport, as you know, was opened in 1939. Over the last 77 years, the aerodrome has been home to a range of aviation services, including commercial airlines, general aviation, emergency response operations, flying schools, and yes, even a military base during World War II. But without a doubt, the service that has had by far the greatest impact on this airport's history is, of course, the introduction and launch of Porter Airlines in 2006. And looking back to 2006, I'd like to remind you that in the year prior, this airport handled 25,000 passengers in the year. And today, by comparison, we handle 2.5 million passengers, a number that eclipses, obviously, the 2005 number substantially. Now, this growth is in large part due to the vision and the commitment of an extraordinary man, Robert Deleuze, and his very, very incredible team. And a lot has changed since 2006. Porter invested in the construction of a new terminal in 2010 to accommodate the growth at the airport, a terminal which is now being upgraded, as you know, and enhanced by the new owners, Newport Aviation. Ports Toronto, for its part, built the ferry system and the pedestrian tunnel to ensure a consistent and convenient access to the airport. And our airfield, in fact, has just completed the first phase of a multi-year restoration to repave the runways and build world-class noise abatement structures. And the airport has grown to the 6th largest airport servicing the United States and the 9th largest airport in Canada overall, and has established itself as an important gateway for both business and leisure in Toronto. We have 2 world-class carriers, one of which we're obviously going to dwell on here today, and we are winning awards, as are the carriers, on a fairly regular basis now for the airport, offering customer-oriented travel experience that is truly unique in the world. So there is a lot to be positive about these days and a lot to celebrate, and much of that is because of Porter and its team. So there are many among us who feel the same, and some will be saying a few words to that respect in a minute. I will limit my praise and congratulations for now so we can let others have a chance to speak. So with that, I would like to introduce our first speaker from the City of Toronto, Deputy Mayor Denzelman Wong, Councillor for Ward 34, Don Valley East. Deputy Mayor Min Wong is a career city builder who has sat on almost every committee during his tenure as a councillor in the interest of promoting investment and improvement here in the City of Toronto. We are very pleased to have him here with us today, and I would like you to help me welcome him now to the stage. Deputy Mayor.
Well, good morning, everybody. And Bob, thanks for having me here, and thanks to the team. So it says here 10 years, 10-year anniversary. Bob, you know that's not true. It's been longer than 10 years, and I know it because you and I have been involved in this for more than 10 years. We were involved since we tried to get that bridge built. Remember that? Yeah. And so we actually did get it built, but it got stopped along the way by a group of people who shall remain nameless. But 10 years is really fantastic. And I look at the 10 years, and I was looking at this. Bob, these look like bullet holes. But this has been your vest. This has been Porter's vest. This has been your vest. And they just bounce off you. And you keep on going. And you're unstoppable. And you turn things, people, over the last 10 years, you've had all these obstacles. And everything has seemed to bounce off you. And you and your team just seem to march forward to build one of the best airlines we have in the country. And so real credit to you for having this today. On behalf of Mayor John Tory and Toronto City Council, I'd like to congratulate Porter for building an airline that's brought millions of passengers from cities throughout Ontario and the Northeast U.S. to our city, connecting business and leisure travelers to explore and enjoy all that our great city has to offer. Over the past 10 years, Porter has overcome what most would view as insurmountable odds to build an airline and change the travel landscape in Toronto. I can tell you firsthand the tenacity and determination that Bob has shown throughout 10 years at the helm of Porter Airlines, and always smiling, always smiling. This guy has so much tenacity. Any obstacle, always smiling afterwards, and never stopping. When Bob and his team started Porter, Billy Bishop Airport had only 20,000 annual passengers and was under constant pressure to close operations. But Porter not only survived as an airline, it has brought this airport back to what is now the 9th busiest airport in Canada, with annual passengers of over 2.5 million people and over 17 million Porter passengers over its 10-year history. And this success has resulted in Porter receiving a number of high-profile accolades and awards over the years, including Top 10 Airline by Condé Nast and World's Top Small Airline and Best Regional Airline by Skytrax. Porter is not only great for air travelers, it has become an important economic engine for the City of Toronto, employing 2,000 people and contributing approximately $3 million to the city each year. We appreciate the taxes too, Bob. I think those go to the federal government as well, yes? Because you're an airport, yeah? With an annual economic impact of over $2 billion, Porter has positioned itself as one of the most important companies in our great city. In fact, Porter is the only major commercial airline in the world that is 100% Canadian-made, with all of its planes coming from Bombardier. And with the completion of the tunnel last year, Porter passengers are now benefiting from seamless access to the airport, which is truly a game changer for the airline and the airport. That major investment of over $80 million to build the tunnel could have never been realized were it not for Porter's growth and success throughout its 10 years at the airport. In fact, it's a little-known fact that the tunnel has actually saved the city $10 million in water infrastructure costs by integrating water and sewer main upgrades for island residents. I want to take a minute to talk about Bob DeLuce. Porter's success over the past 10 years is due in large part to Bob's attention to detail, the importance he places on customer service, and his respect and appreciation for his employees, as you can see from the large number of employees that have come here today. One of the areas that Bob doesn't get enough credit for is his efforts to foster the growth of women in aviation. Earlier this year, Porter launched its Women Soar at Porter campaign, which was designed to promote all aspects of aviation, including pilots, maintenance engineers, and ramp attendants. Porter has made a concerted effort to attract more women to the airline and the industry, resulting in the highest percentage of female pilots in the country. I am confident that this trend will continue to grow due to Bob's efforts and this campaign. With that being said, I would like to once again congratulate Bob and his team at Porter Airlines for its 10 years of success at Billy Bishop Airport, and here's to another 10 years and beyond of success and growth. Congratulations. What would a municipal event be without a plaque? And we have one here. It's to Porter Airlines as it celebrates its 10th anniversary of operations at Billy Bishop Airport. Over the years, Porter Airlines' innovative thinking has played an instrumental role in strengthening Toronto's economic prosperity and its tourism sector. We have watched Porter Airlines grow, and it has a special place in Toronto's history. On behalf of Toronto City Council, I wish Porter Airlines a happy 10th anniversary year of operations at Billy Bishop Airport and many more years of success, and it's signed by Mayor John Tory.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Those words were very much appreciated. I now like to introduce Mr. Robert Poirier. Mr. Poirier is the chair of Ports Toronto. He has been a tireless supporter of the airport and supporter of Porter Airlines over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Poirier.
Thank you, everyone. I clearly didn't think this through, going after the politician. I should have gone prior to him. But you will be glad to know we do pay our taxes in the form of PILTs in lieu of taxes, and we just concluded that with the city, and we're waiting to be enshrined in provincial legislation. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. On behalf of the board of directors, I see Amanda Walton, who is the city representative, city appointee, and the former chair, Mark McQueen, in attendance, senior management team, and staff of Ports Toronto. I would like to extend our warmest congratulations on the 10th year celebration of Porter Airlines. The impact that Porter has had on this airport over the last 10 years has been nothing short of spectacular. We directly share in Porter's celebration as Porter resulted in the rebirth of this airport. Many remember the airport just prior to Porter opening. I think there was grass growing on the runway, holes need to be filled, cracks need to be mended. The vision of Bob Deluce to build a successful Canadian airline focused on customer service has indeed been realized. Bob's vision, determination, and fortitude is by all measures a great Canadian success story. With a tagline of travel refined, Bob and his team have built an airline that harkens back to the age of flying. The award-winning travel experience on Porter, including Billy Bishop Airport, is something special embraced by the people of Toronto and nationally and internationally, may I add. It is because of the travel experience that major investments are being made to this airport. From the terminal to the tunnel, to the airfield, and soon to the run-up enclosure where a Q400 will be able to maneuver itself for run-ups, which will clearly bring down the noise in the community and will bring further joy to this airport. These investments will ensure world-class transportation infrastructure for years to come. In closing, the success of this airport is due in large part to Bob's vision a decade ago. Bob, please accept our congratulations to your team on Porter's success, and your success, our success, and thank you for making Billy Bishop your home.
The Q400 aircraft is a remarkable aircraft, as Robert Poirier just mentioned. It's a game changer, and I think in many ways it's allowed this airport to do exactly what it's best suited to do, which is a high-frequency, high-service, high-touch service success story for the City of Toronto, which is a nice segue for me to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Kevin Smith, who is Vice President, Regional Aircraft for Bombardier Commercial Aircraft. The Q400, as I say, has obviously played an extremely important role, both here for the airport and for the business model of Porter Airlines. It's our pleasure to welcome Mr. Smith here today and to have him say a few words. Thank you, sir.
Good morning and welcome. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate that. Bob, Bombardier, Fred Cromer, and I are delighted to be here today to help Porter Airlines celebrate their milestone 10th birthday. But as others have said earlier, to us, Porter is a little older than just 10 years. So I want to take you back a little bit to perhaps Porter's real birthday. It came in 1951 when Bob's father, Stan, an RCAF pilot in World War II, launched White River Air Services to fly summer tourists to Lake Superior. Through the years, the Deluce family added an impressive array of airlines to the family interests, including Austin Airways, Air Ontario, Superior Airways, Norinter, Air Quebec, Air Manitoba, Air Alliance, and Canada 3000. Given this vibrant history, there's no doubt that the Deluces are Canada's first family of the airline business. Bob, on behalf of Bombardier, I'd like to present you with this birthday present as a token of our friendship and well wishes for a prosperous future. Philippa? So I'm practicing to be a politician, so I'm not done yet. Now about our history together, Bombardier and Porter. When Bob approached us at Bombardier to discuss the Q400 aircraft, we knew we were dealing with a very experienced and very savvy airline man. The fact that Don Carney, ex-CEO of Canadian Pacific Airlines and American Airlines, was on Bob's team certainly didn't hurt him. We had a mutual interest. Porter wanted to establish a regional airline based at Toronto Billy Bishop Airport, the island, and we wanted to showcase the low-noise, low-emissions Q400 at a city center airport. Voila! In early 2006, we announced the first order for 10 Q400s to fly between here in Ottawa and various other destinations. Now, a decade later, you can see what Porter is today, 26 Q400s, 3 more on order that are coming shortly, huge employee base, 23 destinations in the US and Canada. Impressive, very impressive. It goes without saying that we want Porter to thrive and grow, and we want them to do it with Bombardier aircraft. We're in this together. Some of our employees are here today as evidence of this partnership and relationship to present to your employees, Bob, with a gift as well. It's a banner that we hope you proudly display in one of your hangars here. So it's a hangar banner. You know, we typically give these to airlines. You hang them up, and it's like a history of the airline throughout the decades going forward. So, Bob, a very, very happy birthday to you and your team.
Thank you, Kevin. Apropos banners, we like banners. We like to show them off. Take your time, read them. We're proud of them. None of our banners would be possible without the extraordinary energy and efforts of the next gentleman I'm about to introduce, of course, the man of the hour. So how do you introduce Bob DeLuce to people who've worked with him, for him, around him, in support of him, and even some against him over the years? So I'll choose my words carefully, and I'll say that, first of all, Robert DeLuce is known to us as Bob, which says just about everything you need to know about his leadership style. He's been called the most successful entrepreneur in Canadian aviation history, and he's been called a few other names, I do recall. He has built an airline that has become synonymous with customer service, convenience, efficiency, world-class standards, words that I think we all know are not typically associated with the airline business today. He has been in aviation for more than 30 years. He's been involved in other aviation services, as you heard earlier, White River Air Services, Austin Airways, Air Ontario, before starting Porter. And he has built the airline that is now one of the most beloved and highly rated in the world, as borne out by these awards. And awards matter. And borne out by pretty much anybody who's ever flown on his airline or worked for the airline. He has brought back the golden age of travel. I don't think I was around when there was a golden age of travel, so I'm enjoying its rebirth. He's brought back the golden age of travel, and he's, with everything from attendance uniforms to free onboard snacks, hearkening back to an age when air travel was to be enjoyed, and yes, to be anticipated with excitement. And he now has a team of more than 1,400 who have all come to represent his vision, and that is what we are here to celebrate today. I would like to invite Mr. DeLuce to the stage to say a few words. Bob.
it almost leaves you speechless after that. But thank you very much, Jeff, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the many partners and friends who have come to help us celebrate 10 years of Porter service. The saying, time flies, is perhaps more important for the airline business than most. It does feel this way in many respects as Porter has grown and evolved during the last decade. Thank you to Deputy Mayor Denzel Minnan-Wong for participating on behalf of City Hall, and also to Robert, Jeff, and Kevin. And I appreciate, Fred, you being here as well. This group of speakers represents something special for our city because Porter is a Canadian company with foundations that are made in Toronto. It's rare for an airline and an aircraft manufacturer to be based in the same city. We're just a TTC trip away from Bombardier's Toronto assembly location, where all 26 of the Q400 turboprops that we operate were produced. And we have 3 more of these excellent aircraft on their way starting in December. We have used this close proximity to our mutual advantage in building a strong working relationship with Bombardier's team. We know that we can count on them to provide responsive, top-notch service. Porter has been able to assist Bombardier's international sales efforts for the Q400 by hosting airline executives here at Billy Bishop and displaying the aircraft at its best in a real-world operating environment. It's an added touch that works well for both of us and that can be accomplished all in one short visit. I appreciate those from Bombardier who came to join us today, and particularly the banner and the special picture as well. It's a proud feeling for all of us to see this made in Toronto aircraft flying every day with such a beautiful skyline as a backdrop. This postcard picture wouldn't be possible without Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport. To me, it's the absolute best urban airport anywhere in the world. Its location and service levels simply can't be beat. Ports Toronto made very strategic investments in this facility alongside Porter, and now Toronto has an elite airport regarded among the world's best. It took vision for Ports Toronto's board and management team to do this because there was no shortage of critics willing to say that it would never work. Well, we're all here 10 years later, as Denzel said, maybe more than 10 years, looking at what can only be regarded as an incredible success. I know that everyone associated with the airport will keep working just as hard as ever to ensure that it only gets better. This includes Newport Aviation, the terminal owner. They are in the initial stages of further improving this building to better meet the needs of today's passengers. There will be added lounge space to streamline passenger flows in our busiest days, food and retail options, and space for the anticipated introduction of U.S. Customs pre-clearance. We've used Billy Bishop as our home base to grow a network that served nearly 18 million passengers to date. Using a very unofficial passenger-to-cookie ratio of 4-to-1, that's also about 4.5 million complimentary shortbread cookies consumed over the 10 years. All of this adds up to a showcase for the City of Toronto. The marketing and promotion that we do, combined with awards that we've been fortunate enough to receive over the years, encourages people to visit Toronto and to do more business here. Introducing competition on routes that we serve has created significantly lower airfares for all of these travelers. We see decreases of 60% or more, meaning there is greater incentive to take a trip, schedule a meeting, or even base a business here. Now, while I often get the privilege of speaking at events and accepting awards for Porter, that's only possible because we have 1,400 incredible team members as part of this company. They are the ones who I want to personally thank and acknowledge today for the work that they do. Now, this is true whether you get to see them in uniform at airports or on our flights, or if they're working away in a hangar, at a desk, or outside at a gate. The 4 crew members standing here today are representative of the commitment our broader team has. They operated a commemorative flight this morning from Ottawa to Billy Bishop to recognize Porter's first route. 10 years ago, they were also part of a crew that were on one of our very early first flights. Back then, we had closer to 200 total team members. Today, a large number of them are still with us, including Justin, Steve, Patty, and James over here on my right. Now, I know that there are more of those original team members in the audience today, and they have all earned an additional round of applause. We're now all very much focused on the years to come and are looking forward to what they will bring. Thank you again for coming and being part of this celebration here today.
Thank you, Bob. Of course, now we're at the most important part of any birthday celebration, the cutting of the cake. But before we do that, I'd like to invite my colleague, Jean Cabral, EVP for Ports Toronto, to come up, and we're going to make a presentation of a very special gift that we've put together for Bob DeLuce to commemorate the occasion. Bob, please. So now we're going to balance this. So for those of you that are wondering or perhaps can't see, that was a desk lamp. It's a bit like giving your wife a bread bin or something on her birthday, but it's not quite that. It's actually a lamp that we had refashioned out of an old runway light that we had just removed, in fact, just a few months ago, specifically to completely rebuild the runways on the air side of this airport. Again, another show of a commitment by the airline, by ourselves, and by the partners here at Billy Bishop Airport that this is an airport that will have continuous investment, continuous involvement, and reinvestment for the future. And this light has been replaced with the new technology LED lights that are now visible on the airport. So we figured, I've been in Bob's office, he definitely needs a desk lamp. I think it works, by the way. So congratulations, hope you enjoy. So in a moment, our speakers are going to come forward and we're going to pose for photos with the wonderful cake, but we would be remiss if we did not first sing happy birthday. So we're very fortunate to have Graham Scott Fleming with us to lead today's rendition. You're all invited to sing. I'll be making notes of those that do not. Graham is an accomplished, I will not sing in front of a microphone, I promise. Graham is an accomplished professional performer. His list of credits include playing the co-lead role of Charlie Price in the recently finished run of Kinky Boots in Toronto. You're encouraged to join as I turn it over to Graham.
Thank you, Porter, for having me. A birthday wouldn't be a birthday without singing happy birthday, so everybody join me here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Porter. Happy birthday to you. Congratulations. Thank you so much.